Alright everybody, so here we are and let's continue from here on, and the main focus is gonna be not on actually kind of learning a lot, rather I have learned about WebRTC. So we will kind of re-go through the whole project, exactly explaining each and everything, how the things work and all. And after that, from tomorrow onwards, we will actually start rebuilding the same project. Rebuilding is really important, that's the thing I actually focus on the most. Once I'm actually able to rebuild that on my own, that simply means I got the idea exactly how the things work and all. So this is how the overall things are gonna be right now. And as for this live, let me make sure whether I'm actually live and all. Having said that, my Canva subscription got expired, so I'm actually not able to make the thumbnails recently. Canva maybe the good ones. So I will be fixing it maybe by tomorrow or something. I'll get the subscription back and all, and then I will be able to get this thing done. Until then, yeah, can't really do anything. So this is how we are gonna be going ahead, and let's continue from here on. As for this thing, we have almost gone through everything. This was the thing that was remaining, like calculation time and all. I just wanted to check this thing out, time and like what exactly it does. And for checking this particular thing, I'm actually gonna be going to this single thread and clt console.time, just like this. Let's see, exactly check what result will I be getting. So node single threaded, and turns out I'm not gonna be getting anything. That's great. What should the comment be? The comment should be like well, don't know. Let's check this thing out. No, 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 no. Okay, it actually starts from here, and console.time, that's gonna be calculation time. Let's simply check whether it actually works or not. So here we are. Let's get rid of this calculation, and that's gonna be time, and run it. Nothing happens. Okay, what can I do? Let's keep the things side by side and see what's gonna happen at the end. Calculation time is gonna be here. Okay, it turns out nothing gets printed over here. After calculation time, I'll have calculation time again, but this time it will be end. So I have two things. I started the time maybe somewhere here, and I'm ending the time somewhere here. So let's see exactly what am I gonna be getting now. So it turns out I am getting the time around 0.009 milliseconds. If I actually just get rid of this particular section over here, if I try to run it, turns out I will not be getting. So the simple error that I'm actually getting, that is warning, no such label calculation time for console.time. And okay, so it turns out that we do need to give it some kind of label, and this is the label that I'm actually giving, calculation time. This label needs to be given. Once the label is actually given, then you will be getting the time over here. If you don't give it any label, that's no doubt gonna be problematic. If I'm not, oh, come on, Control D. And right now if I try to run this, then by default that's not gonna be problematic. So if you want, you may not give it any time, and you will, by default you will be getting this much time. Having said that, if you can give it some time as well, and kind of label as well, and that label will be printed over here too. So it's completely up to you, but these types of things do exist in JS, and that's why I was just simply wishing to go through it. By the way, let's continue from here on. This was the code that was kind of written by me, so not really gonna be talking much about it. Having said that, we have kind of done a lot. What is the next thing that I am gonna be working on right now? Pretty simple stuff actually, but even before that, let's close everything. We have gone through it a lot, even including this code section. No need to worry about anything at all, and this is how things are actually gonna be going on. Alright, let's go through the code of WebRTC. Let's talk about WebRTC, how it works and all. And for that thing, am I gonna be having that PDF? Not sure, but let's see. Just a minute. Is my VS Code open? I have to go to other projects. Inside projects, that's gonna be the WebRTC section. And ultimately, what is the goal going to be right now? The simple goal is to just go through whole project, explain each and everything. Once the explanation part is done, after that I will actually be remaking this project, rebuilding this project on my own. let's see how it's gonna be going on. Having said that, there are actually many things, so we will cover them one by one. But even before that, let's have a look at overall look at the code, and exactly know the reason how the things are happening, and most importantly why they are happening the way they are happening. Having said that, just a sec, give me a moment. Let me come on here, I have to share VS Code screen, right? So VS Code should be shared from here, just like this. But even before that, can I get, I had some kind of picture, I hope I will be able to get that. WebRTC, this is the picture that I have. Let's keep this picture on the home screen. I mean, even let me share the entire screen so that I'm actually able to just share anything. And I hope right now you are able to see, and I tried to paste it here but couldn't paste it, don't know why. Let's go to the desktop section, let's paste it here. Can't I paste it? Okay, it's not possible, never mind. Let me do one thing now, hang on for a sec, I'll be back soon. Okay, getting some good stuff for you so that it's actually able, I mean, easy to understand this stuff. Can I copy it? Can't I do that? Okay, got it here. I hope you can see the screen. Let's continue from here on. First of all, we are gonna be talking about this particular stuff. I do have the image, got it from one of my instructors. So let's simply have a look at this image, and then we will be going ahead. So this is the image that I mainly wanted to talk about. This image actually contains everything related to WebRTC connection, and that's what we are gonna be doing over here. So there is something called a peer 1 and peer 2. They are mainly connected via signaling server. Again, that signaling server is gonna be on node.js, and they will be connected via WebSocket. So from peer 1 will be connected to the signaling server. Similarly, peer 2 will be connected to the signaling server. And once they're both of them are connected, then the request can be sent to the signaling server. Signaling server is going to be bi-directional. It will be sending the request to the peer 2 and peer 1 back. It's just something gonna be like that. Okay, let's talk about this particular thing. When it comes to peer 1, call it peer 1, call it peer 2, whoever actually creates the RTCP peer connection initially. So there is a method called RTCP create RTCP peer connection, pc.rtcp peer connection, if I'm not wrong. There is a method, just understand this thing. Using that method, you can actually create the RTCP peer connection. Once the method is actually created, then you can create the data channels. Data channels mainly specifies that what kind of data you are actually gonna be sending, right? So once you create the data channels, the data channel are created. After that, you will be creating the offer. So again, there are specific methods for it, how you can create the RTCP peer connection, how you can create the data channel, so you don't really need to worry about it. After that, you have to create the offer. Once the offer is created, you can set the local description, and once the local description is set, at that time you start getting the ICE candidates. So ICE candidates start getting gathered. So this is the most important thing, that as soon as you set your local description on any peer side, ICE candidates, what are the ICE candidates? They just simply contain the information related to ICE candidates are kind of the routes or the way to just simply get connected with another peer, as simple as that. Again, they are generated by ICE agents. ICE agent, it's kind of a code that exists in your browser itself, so you don't need to worry about that. Set local description, we will be setting the local description. As soon as we have set the local description, we will get the ICE agents. ICE candidates. We will verify all these things. And once I got my ICE candidates, after that I will be sending my server. I will be sending my offer to my signaling server. Signaling server will just simply push this offer to the peer 2. This offer will contain the ICE candidate or what? ICE candidates. Though ICE candidates got generated over here. So as soon as this offer, you have set the local description, ICE candidates will generate. But that doesn't mean that you have to send those ICE candidates to peer 2. So there is one thing over here. We are just sending the offer to the peer 2. We are not sending the ICE candidates to peer 2, mainly because peer 2 doesn't really have any peer connection, RTCP peer connection, RTC peer connection. We will have to create the peer connection. So even when it gets the offer, it doesn't have any RTC peer connection. So it actually creates the RTCP peer connection, and then it actually sets the remote description. Once the remote description is set, that's it. You don't really need to worry about it. So this is how things actually go on in this particular case. Okay, so this much is done. Right now remote description is set. Once the remote description is set, after that you can actually send the ICE candidates, and ICE candidates are gonna be saved there. Okay, so after that, let's even make sure that we are actually following each and everything. By the way, once the I've set the local description on the peer 1 side, then there's gonna be M flag. I mean, kind of M stands for media, so media flag is going to be set. Kind of this kind of media. Ultimately, this is the type of media that I actually want to send. And once you have actually done that, then ICE candidates, as I said, as soon as you set the local description, ultimately the offer is set in the local description. ICE, the browser or the ICE agents, they start gathering the ICE candidates. How they start gathering the ICE candidates? So first of all, there is a flag called M, kind of media type, media gets set, and once that is set, so from your browser side there is a stun server. What is the job of stun server? It's pretty simple. You send a request to the stun server. Stun server gets the request, knows about your IP address, knows about your port where the request actually came from, and then returns you the IP address and port number. As simple as that. So the thing is that there is something called NAT and there is something called router. So if I talk about your router, so your router has your public IP address as well as a public port number. And when it comes to your device has private IP address and private port number. So using NAT, your router, this is the job of your router actually. So if you are running any application on your device, any device, that could be your monitor, that could be your laptop, that could be your mobile as well. Somebody is calling me, that's crazy. Okay, just a sec. Hang on for a sec. Alrighty, I'll actually have to go to pick somebody up, but let's simply get this thing done. The thing is that as soon as I set the local description, then a request is sent to the Eastern servers, and what they do, they don't do anything. Just simply get the request, knows okay, this is where the request came from, this is the public address, this is the private IP address, public IP address, and all, and it just simply returns you back. So when it actually returns you everything, at that time there's gonna be public address, there's gonna be a public port number, and then if a private IP address and private port number do exist, then you will be getting them as well. So ultimately what it does is simply it simply tells you who are you. So that's what is mentioned over here. Who am I? Give me possible public routes that others can use to send and receive data to set in my M flag. Having said that, don't worry about the private IP address, because router using NAT, they just create a mapping table. Ultimately they know like where from the local network where the request actually came from, what is the private IP address, what is the private port number. So don't need to worry about that. Router handles all these things. So there is using NAT, they just create kind of a table. That table knows what is the private and public address and all, what is the private port number and public port number and all. So you don't need to worry about that. And when you send the request to Eastern server simply gets your public IP address, port and port number and all, and it just simply tells you that okay, this is who you are, this is how other people can actually get connected with you, find you online. As simple as that. The way Eastern server finds you, the same way other people can find you, and the Eastern server actually starts sending many candidates. Those candidates may be using UDP or TCP, or one more thing, they can be from your host machine, from your own machine, from your local network, or they can be actually created by the Eastern servers. So there can be many ways actually. The candidate that you get, that can be of type TCP or UDP. Again, these are the protocols. That can be from your host machine, local host network, or that can be given by the Eastern servers and all. So this is how the things go on. But as soon as you get your candidates, you just simply send those candidates to the peer 2. Again, you update your local description, because initially you set the local offer. Once you set the offer, there were no ICE candidates. Once you set that, then you started getting the ICE candidates. Once you got the ICE candidates, you will be setting the local description, and then you will be sending the kind of those ICE candidates here. And at the end of the day, in the remote description as well, you don't have any ICE candidate, so you will be adding those ICE candidates. And the next thing starts from here. It actually creates the data channel and sends them back there. Okay, we will be talking about it in detail, but I have to go and pick them up. And don't worry, I'm gonna be discussing about each and everything, ultimately how the things work and all. Not only that, I will be creating this whole code. I will be writing the whole code. I will be creating this WebRTC connection stuff on my own. So it's not like I'm just gonna be talking verbally. Rather, I'm actually gonna be writing code, explaining each and everything. So this is how it's gonna be going on. I need to do it for myself, because unless I write the code on my own, I am not sure whether I understand. But if I write it once, I know that now I can even create a video calling application easily. So that's why I need to do it. I'll be back. I'll continue from here onwards, and then let's see how it's gonna be going on. Take care and see you.